And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to helping you win in any marketplace. Consumer Quarterback Show, going against the grain of the often negative media, and we are going to help you win no matter what you're facing out there. We want to be your number one consumer advocate.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you're going to need it. 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-670-7372. Got a lot of calls last week. People looking to improve their credit scores, maybe looking for a refinance on the mortgage. Lots of ways we can help you. Over 60 show partners, 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we all want to help you win. Go to consumerqb.com, our website, consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors, their contact information, their show cards, announcements are there as well. And this segment is brought to you by Brothers Easy Moving. The official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show is Brothers Easy Moving. And I can tell you from first-hand experience that they are a first-class organization. From the leadership down, Gary Thacker, to the boots on the ground. The guys were awesome. They did a great job moving us to our new home. Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. They've got some great reviews online as well. 4.6 on Google, 4.5 on Yelp, A rating on Angie's List. Reach out to Brothers Easy Moving for all your local and long-distance moves, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we're in here in studio. We got a great lineup for you today. Back in studio, Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum. Welcome in, sir.
Oh, it's so glad to be back. I am so glad to be back. I love doing this show. I wish I had more time to do it. And you know my story. I love to do it 4 to 5 times a month, but I just can't make it. I do apologize for that. But I'll be back in Thursday though, for sure.
Hey, it's good stuff. It's always a pleasure to have you in here.
My pleasure.
And thanks for referring over Mr. Fred DeLeese. He's going to be helping. Freddie DeFelice. He's going to help us out, a lot of people out with water, man. There's a lot going on with the water that people don't know about.
Yeah, I know Freddie from way back. I did his enclosure, and he was very particular, which I can appreciate. Asked more questions than anybody else, which you know how much I like that.
Questions are good.
Did the job. The next thing you know, 2 weeks later, I'm over there with his friend, sold that one. 3 weeks later, I'm over there with his friend's friend, sold that one.
Nice.
That's the kind of guy Freddie is.
That's a client that you liked right there.
Yes, sir.
And so he's joining our show. He's going to talk a lot about water and the stuff that's in your water that you might not know about. I think we mentioned that last time, Greg. Gregg Bowman in the house as well, the AC guy of Tampa Bay. Welcome back, sir.
Thanks, Brandon. It's great to be back.
Yeah, man. So just like we were talking with the air quality, indoor air quality, things that people don't realize that they're breathing in every day. We were mentioning Fred talking about the water, but what have you guys been up to at AC Guy of Tampa Bay?
Well, it's preseason right now. It's not too much longer. The heat's going to hit. So we're gearing up for that, kind of like, the jets over here at the international airport. Before they take those things off, they go through their preseason checks. So we're our pre-flight checks.
That's right.
We're going through our preseason checks right now with air conditioning systems, going out to our clients, making sure those systems are ready to go, because when that heat hits, you want that.
Does the heat never not hit here?
Yeah,
right. Well, we got it's you get that nice morning. It's kind of nice breeze in the morning. Midday it gets hot still, but I guess the humidity level. How much of a difference is the humidity level? Say the last couple of months versus August and September.
It's huge. Yeah, once the season really hits, we're running 80-90% humidity outside. So
wow.
This time of year, it's more in the 60%, which is still high,
right,
compared to a lot of parts of the country. But
right.
Once the season really hits, that humidity kicks in, then you have to have it. We have a few clients who every year try and see how long they can wait till they turn their air conditioner on.
Wow.
They made it till mid-July, I think, last year.
Wow.
But Not me. Mine's on all year round.
That's
so.
not bad. Yeah, making it to July with no AC, man. That's dedication right there.
do that?
Trying to save some money, trying to live economically,
Right.
whatever the cause is there. That's I'll be calling an audible on that. Say, I'll be like, give me my AC, man.
Right.
That humidity is what kills you. It really does.
Yeah, definitely.
Thomas King in the house, Florida Firearms Academy. Welcome back, sir.
Thanks for having me. Always a great pleasure to be back in the studio here with you all and educating the community and giving back to the Tampa Bay area.
Yeah, man.
Guns, guts, and glory.
That's what we
That's
do.
what it takes to be an aluminum contractor.
There you go.
I hope everybody.
So, Thomas, you got a great team over there, man. Quincy, the whole team. Everybody's so, they're just willing to help, and they want to help, and they love those conversations. You can just tell they're passionate about helping people.
A lot of people just come in. Like this past week was our big party.
Yeah.
It was crazy madhouse. We had 20 different types of chilies. We gave away an AR to the best chili cooker. Suppressor party. We had our attorney there. We had Shooters Tampa Bay was there. Just so many people came out from the community to give and help out and help us set up. And we gave back firearms and ammunition and, whatever we could to give out. I think everyone won something that day. It was just actually amazing. The vendors gave away so much. So it was just a great time.
That's awesome. And you're doing a lot of events. We'll dive deeper into all the different event schedules that you have, but we're talking about Florida Firearms Academy right there in beautiful Oldsmar, the Hillsborough Road, kind of where it gets close to Tampa Road, right there by the flea market.
Right there.
Just east of the flea market there. But, Florida Firearms Academy. Talk a lot about self-defense here on the show. It's one of those things we take for granted a lot of times until it happens to a family member or it happens to somebody that we know. It's like, wow, there was a home invasion. They kicked the door down and came in and, tied a couple up. I mean, there's all these different stories that happen. It happens, and it happens a lot more than you think and that you hear about on the mainstream news channels and those types of things.
Well, we're the ones that hear the story because they come in to buy a firearm. So
right, you hear the stories, and I hear a little bit of it
from us right?
here and there, and then it's like, wow, okay, let me make sure we have this plan in place. It's all about self-defense and protecting the family. So, hey, a great lineup for you today here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. By the way, you can find it's 5 o'clock drive time right here on 1380 The Biz. Weekend show on FM 102.5 The Bone Sunday mornings, and we have Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Sony TV, 85 other outlets that we are on now. So if you got a smart TV at home, pull it up, check it out. We'd love for you to give some feedback on that. We appreciate that. And let's jump right into it. We got Fred Muth in the house, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, longtime friend of the program, helping people beautify their homes and just adding value to their homes with these awesome screened enclosures that you're adding on.
Well, yes, thank you. And I always talk about what is a lanai. People move down from New York, Philadelphia, and I always pick on them because that's originally my home.
Yep.
And they come down here. They all want a lanai. They have no clue what a lanai is. They just know that when they go to Florida, they want a lanai. So it's my job to sell them a lanai. Now, a lanai can be something with a screen roof. It can be a screen over a pool. It could be an aluminum solid roof. It could be a glass room. Now, to complicate things even further, we have the new Renaissance line.
Nice.
This is a new type of lanai.
Oh, wow.
And we are a dealer for this Renaissance product.
That's beautiful.
I've talked about this before with you. I don't know if you can catch it on here.
Yeah, we can see it.
Beautiful
man.
product. It's in our industry. It's it's less redundant than what I typically sell, and you can get more creative with this. It can be covered area only. It's a very heavy gauge material. It can be covered area with the screen. It can be covered area with the internal beam work, which is basically it is strength, but it's more of a I would say it enhances the beauty of it. So it's a lot different than your standard screen room. And Richard was very pleased to become the dealer. He worked on this for quite some time, and his son Ricky, he sold the first one.
Nice.
And that'll be going in within the next probably 2 to 3 weeks, and I'm going to use that as a referral. But excellent product, the Renaissance line. I know Chris has talked about it with you guys a few times.
Chris Hatfield.
Chris,
That's right.
Radio Chris.
Yeah, Radio Chris. Yeah. So gazebos, and there's all different names for it, but essentially you're doing the same thing. You're utilizing that outside, that kind of in-between space. It's not under air. It's not out in the humidity, but you kind of can create your own.
That's right. The in-between space, you coined that phrase. I use it all the time. You also coined the phrase Tin Man for me. By the way, they call me the Tin Man in the office now.
Do they?
Yeah, at the last commission check, they made it out to the Tin Man. I had to explain that at the bank. Just kidding.
That's funny.
I'll be Courage.
Yeah. So you're helping people with this now. So what's some of the current things that you're seeing? Have the Trump, we talked about those from time to time, show to show, the tariffs and some of that stuff. Has that affected your industry?
Yes, it has.
Is it just
yes. Yeah. The numbers continue to rise. Pricing is high, and when we first talked about the tariff, I used to call it the talk of the tariff because typically there was no tariff in place at that point when it first came out. However, the prices started to increase from that point forward, and a lot of the extruders, manufacturers, they will use the talk of the tariff to push the prices up. But in reality, it has hit hard now so far, and yes, things are more expensive. So a customer will say to me, should I buy now or wait till the tariff goes away? I said, buy now. And not because I'm trying to close a deal, but I promise you next year this time, these products will be much more expensive. Yeah. It continues to rise. The only time I saw a decrease was when the well ran dry back in 2007. And that's when the phone stopped ringing and it was frightening. Yep. Things came down significantly because they were trying to push it. Then it started to rise back up again, 10, 11. Things started to go to the roof again. Yep. So we're back to the pretty much it's a high ticket item right now at this point. It's probably as high as it's ever been price wise in this industry. However, I can't see the price dropping off unless the economy slides a little bit. Yeah, and you would see that in your business. Obviously, when the real estate starts to slide a little bit, I think you'll see some of these prices. And you look
at the benefit. You look at the benefit to the family. You look at the benefit to the lifestyle. The ability to add these types of enclosures onto your home. It's just going to make the value of the property, appreciate faster. It's going to add more value to the home.
For sure. I mean, on an appraisal, it's going to bring the numbers up.
Yep, that's
right.
No
doubt about it.
And you've got your real estate license, so you know that.
Right, as well as an appraisal license.
Do you really?
Yeah,
okay.
I've carried the appraisal license only for the education. Okay. I enjoy the education, believe it or not.
That's awesome, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, more from Fred Muth, a.k.a. the Tin Man, here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, Tampa Screens and Aluminum. We got Gregg Bowman in the house as well, the AC guy of Tampa Bay. Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy, here as well. And Dolly Parton donates $200,000 to volunteer firefighters in our Feel Good segment. Stay with us right here. We're taking a quick timeout. We'll be right back after this short break.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by True Leaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. A couple of hot listings here in Tampa Bay. We got a hot property at 7424 4th Street North over in St. Petersburg. This is a corner unit gas station with a little shopping area in there. You've got 3 bays as well with light mechanical type of mechanics going on in there. 7424 4th Street North in St. Petersburg. Owner's super motivated. Great opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay. And we also have 4101 Coquina Key Drive South. Now, this is a property in St. Petersburg, 4101 Coquina Key Drive South. This property, it's on the water. You've got sailboat access, so deep water access in South St. Petersburg. Just a great opportunity. A couple of hot real estate property listings. Compliments of PlatinumMVPTeam.com.
Sun is shining, the weather is sweet.
And this segment is brought to you by the Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. The Bilmar Beach Resort over on Gulf Boulevard and Treasure Island. And it's filled with fantastic and generous amenities to make your vacation that much more special. The Bilmar Beach Resort has been one of the most sought-after destinations in the Treasure Island area for many years. And whether you're planning a quick business trip, a wedding, a vacation, a local staycation, the Bilmar Beach Resort is a great place to hang out. 2 pools on site, Sloppy Joe's restaurant and bar, 2-beer beach is what Clyde Smith calls it, a 2-beer beach over there. Reach out to Clyde Smith, the general manager at the Bilmar Beach Resort. Let him know that the real estate quarterback sent you. Take him up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we've got in the house today Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, Gregg Bowman, the AC guy of Tampa Bay, Thomas King coming up as well. I want to talk with Gregg Bowman now. So talk about, the AC guy, what you guys have going on. I mean, it's that preseason for you. So you're kind of warming up, getting ready to, get out there and help a lot of homeowners.
Correct. Yeah, this is the season where we're kind of encouraging our clients to get their systems checked out, make sure they're ready to handle the heat that's coming. The air conditioning's running a little bit now, but in another month and a half, it's going to be nonstop running.
Yeah.
So now's the time to get it checked out and, make sure that everything's in good working order, that it's going to hang in there for you for another season.
Yeah, absolutely a great idea. And talk about the maintenance side of it. Indoor air quality is such a big area as well that you guys are seeing out there.
Yeah, it is, and that's one of the things we definitely take a look at when we do an inspection of a system to make sure, air conditioners basically do 3 things for us. They cool the air, reduce the temperature, keep the temperature where we want. They dehumidify, which is, huge to us here in Florida. But then the third thing that most people don't think about is they also can condition the air quality, clean the air. So filtration, ultraviolet products, different air cleaning products that are out there that can be used to make sure that the air quality in our home is good. The EPA says that the air quality in our homes is about 5 times, on average, about 5 times more polluted than outdoor air.
Wow.
So doing things that we can to improve that air quality is ideal. In the American culture, we suffer from a lot of respiratory problems that are related to our homes.
Yeah.
So anything we can do to improve that air quality is good.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, Greg. You look at the indoor air quality. I wonder how much difference there is between like California and Florida or different states,
Yeah, I don't know if there's any studies. I might have to do some research and look into that. But I mean, definitely states where we spend more time indoors, you're going to tend to have more issues.
Right.
I would think that, North Dakota, I have a son up there. They don't run air conditioning right now. They've been dealing with, minus temperatures. So,
wow.
But in those situations, they're stuck inside for a different reason.
Right.
But, anywhere where we could be where in a state where they could be outside, I would tend to think that they probably have, fewer issues.
Yeah.
With air quality because you're not stuck inside for so long.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense when you look at the habits of people too. It comes down to the habits, right? So most people probably don't change their filter as much as they should either.
Correct. That's a big thing that can be used to improve indoor air quality, and that's one of the things we encourage looking at. Especially this time of year before you get ready to really get into the season, make sure your filters are up to date. cleaning out the drain line or treating the drain line, make sure that's not going to be an issue. Definitely all those things are important to do at this time of year.
Now, how important is it to buy a more expensive or a thicker filter?
It's not a bad thing as long as you've had your system checked to make sure it can handle it. It's a little dangerous for the average homeowner to just go to Lowe's or Home Depot and buy a filter, and they see the best product on the shelf there, and they think, okay, well, that's the best product, it's going to be the best thing for me. They buy that, take it home, stick it in their system. The problem with the really good filters, the ones that are really good at removing dirt and dust, is they're also really good at restricting airflow. So if your system is not designed to handle that, we've gone out already on no cool calls where the problem was that they were using the wrong filters because that restricted the airflow too much. They actually shut the air conditioning down. So you got to be careful of that. I would recommend a middle of the road filter to be safe unless you've had a technician examine it and make sure that it's okay to use a higher end filter.
Yeah, that's interesting. You'd think they would test those before they start manufacturing and selling them, right?
Yeah, well, they are tested and they are designed. They all have a rating on them, but because they're mass sold, a lot of times the application of them is just misused. That people, because they can buy it, think that okay, well, it's okay if they're selling it to me, and it's not always. So you just got to be careful.
Probably the age of your system may have something to do with that too.
Yeah, well, it's the number of filters, the amount of intakes, that type of thing. You have to be able to move so much air depending on the size of your system. So if you have a lot of filters, it's probably okay to go to a more restrictive filter. But you only have one filter or two filters, and you're going to a more restrictive filter, then you're more likely to get yourself in trouble.
Yeah. We're talking with Gregg Bowman here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, the AC guy of Tampa Bay. And Greg, when you have split systems, a lot of times you'll see two-story different, levels of homes, one system for the downstairs, one for upstairs. What are some of the complications that you see with those? Do those have to be running at the same speed or the same capabilities?
No, actually, if you have split up, like two separate systems for different areas of the home, that gives you a lot of flexibility. So you can be controlling the temperature to 1 degree in one part of the house and to a different degree in the other part of the house. So no, there's not really any complications with that, other than there's more cost, involved in replacing equipment. There is a benefit, though. If one of them breaks, you still got part of the house that's got air conditioning, so that's a plus too. In a multi-story home, it's actually ideal to see that because it's so hard to control different temperatures on different floors with one system. So going to multiple systems or going to a zone system where you would have electronic dampers directing the air either upstairs or downstairs with one system is ideal, so that you can kind of control the area the way you need to in those applications. So but like anything, it's it's a matter of what you're trying to accomplish in your home, and we have solutions for all that to be able to handle those situations.
That's great. Yeah, that's awesome. And so you're helping, I think we talked about this, mostly residential, some small commercial. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah. The primary bulk of what we do is residential. We'll dabble a little bit in commercial, especially for clients that we have that are residential clients that have commercial businesses that they want us to look into. We will eventually probably dabble more in commercial, but we're trying to stick to the residential side because we can specialize in that and provide, with the staff we have really hit that well.
That's great. That's awesome. And you got a great staff, you said.
Yeah, we're real proud of our team. We've got some great guys and girls that we send out that taking care of your needs. We do background checks, drug checks. So we're real careful that the people we're sending out there are the people that you would want in your home. But we're real proud of the team we have.
That's awesome, man. Good stuff. The AC guy of Tampa Bay, Gregg Bowman, here locally, longtime friend of the program, helping you now. When it comes to the maintenance side, a lot of homeowners they think they're going to do it. They have good intentions to do it, but they don't. Now, do you offer some type of a program where you're ongoing, kind of helping out with the maintenance?
Yeah, we do. We have a program that we can set up. That's a monthly program. It's $14 a month, and we can set that up so it's just paid automatically, so you don't have to think about it. And then we call you and set those maintenances up. Do that twice a year for you. kind of a spring and fall situation, or however you want to set that up. But then we come out and do all the maintenance, go over everything, make sure there's nothing going on that's going to leave you without heating or air conditioning throughout the year. So it's a great program. The thing most people don't think about is you're already paying for maintenance. You're either paying the power company because you're not maintaining your system and it's costing you more to run.
Good point.
Or
Yeah.
you can pay us to maintain it, make it more energy efficient with fewer breakdowns. There's a lot of studies that have been done by the power companies throughout the country that prove that fact, that
Wow.
maintenance pays for itself. So it's just a matter of, doing it. And like you said, most people do kind of forget about it.
Yep.
As long as the air is working, you don't think about it until it breaks.
Yeah.
And then you're panicking. So, just taking that effort to get that set up initially, and then you don't have to worry about it is a good thing to do.
Yeah, $14 a month. That's going to pay for itself in your heating and cooling cost, and just the knowing that you have a system that's ready to work whenever those hot temperatures come for the summer. Gregg Bowman, the AC guy of Tampa Bay, here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And the website again, Greg?
It's www.acguyoftampa.com.
acguyoftampa.com. And more from our expert contributors. We're going to talk self-defense with Thomas King here, representing Florida Firearms Academy when we come back. And we also have our feel-good story of the day. Dolly Parton donates $200,000 to help firefighters. Stay with us right here. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by Trulieve on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes, owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We want to invite you to our next event coming up. We want you to save the date, Thursday, April 18th, BYOB. And it's not bring your own booze. It's be your own brand. We're going to teach you how to grow your brand and learn how to brand yourself to stand out in this busy environment that we have. It's going to be at New York Kitchen Lounge, NYC. NYKL Nickel is the New York Kitchen Lounge, 4606 West Boy Scout Boulevard in Tampa, right across from the International Mall, right behind the Lucky Dill there. It's Thursday, April 18th, 6 to 9 p.m. at Nichols and BYOB. Great networking opportunity. Come on out, business owners, managers, salespeople of all types. This can be a great opportunity to learn more about branding your business, growing your sphere of influence, and making more money. Ultimately, that's the goal. This segment is brought to you by the Lucky Dill Restaurant, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. They've got a deli. They've got the New York City bar, Brooklyn Bakery, catering, banquets as well, and home of the sandwich that ate Brooklyn, the Lucky Dill Restaurant, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. 2 locations in Tampa Bay, 4606 West Boy Scout Boulevard in Tampa, also on US 19 in Palm Harbor. The Lucky Dill Restaurant, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Give them a call, go and say hello, and let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. They're going to hook you up when you walk in with a free water with lemon every time. They're going to hook you up in there, Fred. They're going to take care of you over there, man.
Yeah, the Lucky Dill. I don't think there's a mouth big enough to get around one of their sandwiches.
That sandwich is huge.
Yeah, there you
it
are.
is huge, man.
I've eaten there several times.
Yeah.
Very good.
Really good food, and every time I take somebody in, they're like, "Man, this place is awesome. I haven't seen the inside. I've heard of it, and it's just great food, great environment. I love to eat the. Just recently got turned on to the, the corned beef with the cabbage. So
You're
good,
killing
man.
me. I didn't eat lunch yet.
Yeah.
You're killing me.
And they
It's
give
good
you
stuff.
the rolls and then the cheesecake at the end.
Yeah, man.
Love
Good
that
stuff.
place.
And a couple of hot listings real quick. 103 South Havana Avenue in Tampa. This one's just reduced. The owner's super motivated on this one. It's in the Tampa Plant High School District, one of the great high school districts to be in. 103 South Havana. Owner's motivated. Beautiful Fabre Frameworks photography as well, provided by a real estate photographer, Fabre Frameworks. $470,000, 103 South Havana Avenue. Beautiful South Tampa property. Owners are motivated on that one. Looking to make a deal. I got some vacant land listings available. Anybody looking to build out there? 9th Avenue and Safety Harbor, vacant lot. It's actually on Elm Street is the second name of this road. Elm Street and Safety Harbor, 9th Avenue, Safety Harbor. $290,000. Owners are motivated on this. Great opportunity. It's like a piece of blank canvas. Build your dream home there on this beautiful real estate property in gorgeous Tampa Bay.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
So we got Thomas King in the house, Florida Firearms Academy. I love talking self-defense with you, Thomas, and protecting your assets, protecting your home, protecting your family. A lot of times, the media is going to jump on the gun owners and try to sway public opinion. Man, it's like, oh, come on, give it up.
It's hard to advertise anything because Facebook won't allow us to. They even like 99% of the stuff I put up, they reject or deny. And guns aren't illegal. It's just the stigma that the media has put out there. We have kids that are 5 years old that come in and shoot. We have people that are 88 years old and come in and shoot. They do competitions with us. They do training with us. They do classes, academies, and all this fun stuff. So.
Yeah,
I did want to touch on one thing Greg was saying. He's talking about filters and everything. We do about $60,000 to $80,000 in filter changes alone. So people don't realize this. For an indoor gun range, we have to monthly go up there, check all our filters, take all our filters out, reorder filters, and we put the big HEPA filters in there because we have to circulate so much air, per square foot. But we try to do it 3 times more than the regulated what they actually call for. But air conditioning filters is no joke.
Good point. Yeah, because when you're shooting that firearm, what's coming out of there?
There's lead coming out of there, and we want to make sure that everyone. We just recently had one of our members that's there 3 to 4 times a week, and he shoots a lot. So we said, let's get you tested. So his lead level was very, very low. So we know we're doing our job. When we have to go through, we lead wipe everything throughout the day. I have someone professionally come in a few times a week to do it. And then also upstairs, when we take these filters out, we can't just throw these away. We have to have a company come back, pack these things up in a special box with special stuff, and then they ship it all to China to have it destroyed. So,
wow. Well, that's a great point. That's a great add-on to what Greg was talking about. The AC
filters
guy
are very important to our system. So
yeah, they sure are.
Why does it have to go to China?
Because they don't want to do it here. Well, they had that whole thing where the lead they wanted to deal with, with the mines and the leads and everything like that. So a lot of the smelting places couldn't do it anymore. So they smelt these, take the lead out of the filters, and you actually reuse the lead. So that's why China sells us a lot of lead for a lot of money. And
well, they sell us Chinese drywall too.
Yeah, well, that's a different story there.
Yeah,
but
yeah, that was. So Florida Firearms Academy here, located in Tampa Bay, got the great location on Hillsborough Avenue there. People can go in and shoot. They can test guns. They can rent guns. You have all these awesome parties, events, active shooter, survival classes going on, all kinds of cool stuff.
Right. This week, actually today is our active shooter class. Now, this isn't like any other active shooter class you've been to. We have simulated gunfire. You're actually involved in it. We're going to actually show you how to get away from situations like this. Not some guy's up there and he's saying, showing you a video. That's not going to really help you unless you've done this, tried it, moved through doors correctly. How to get this firearm away from people. A lot of people cannot teach that because of the liabilities and laws issued in that, especially like the police force does offer a free class to some people, and they just can't get into the details of it, of what you really need to do. Not that that's a bad class or anything. It's actually amazing, and it's free, so that's actually great. One of our we do a monthly free hand-to-hand combat self-defense class that's taught with Alex from Black Belt Fitness.
Yep.
Last month was escape concept. Someone comes up behind you, tries to grab you, throw you or your kid in the car. How do you get away from that? If you don't practice these kinds of situations, it's not going to work for you. You're going to just let them take you away. So this Friday, that's usually the last Friday of the month, from 7 to 8:30, this one's going to be if someone tries to take you on the ground. How do you get away from that? What do you need to do? So the people that come out for this, they love it. They keep coming back. It's up to you to get this self-defense training. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, but you know what? It's just like your air conditioner. When it breaks down, then you're worried about it. Right. When some bad guy kind of try to break in your house, if you don't have a firearm, we're not just all about firearms. We're about, tasers. We're about, even knives or mace. We want to let you know, hey, there's another way around firearms if you're totally scared of them.
Right.
But a lot of people don't realize firearms, what we use them for is a sport. It's an Olympic sport. It's been around for ages and ages. So when people get offended saying, hey, quit trying to take away my rights, I don't use these for anything but sport. I use these to do competitions and make money. I this is my livelihood. I love to, just like your car, you put rims on it or you paint jobs on it. A lot of people customize their firearms, and this industry is huge. It's a billion-dollar industry, and it's because we love the sport.
Yeah, it really is, and it's one of those things that you don't think it's going to happen to you, and until you find out a story. Oh, this is what happened to our neighbor or somebody around the corner. Give us little insights in there. I know you're talking a lot of law enforcement, former special services, people in the military coming in with these stories. Can you share anything with us that might shake somebody up out there a little bit?
I don't want to shake anyone up, but we are the people they come to. We have people say, "Hey, I need to buy a firearm. I need to buy a firearm today," and we're like, "Whoa, what's going on?"
Yeah.
And this one lady let us know that someone kicked her door and 3 people ran in her house. She just was in fear of her life. She couldn't even move, she said. Ran through. They just looked at her, ran through her house, grabbed stuff. There's another incident where they actually planned this attack. They broke in, tied them both up, beat them senseless. The lady actually very hard. Wow. And they robbed them. And these kind of things happen a lot, and they're not on the news because of course we have people come down from all over. We are dependent on our tourists to come here.
Right.
So we want to make sure that it's not a scary situation. But if you believe in the Second Amendment, you believe and learn how to get a firearm, but learn how to use it. You don't have to come to my store.
Right.
Take some training and make sure it's a reputable place. Get the training you need, because if you just bought a car and you've never driven before and you go out and drive on US 19, you're going to hurt yourself or someone else, or even worse. So same thing with the firearm. Please get the training. Don't just buy it and watch a YouTube video or you saw it on a movie, because it's nothing like that. Especially most people, when they buy a firearm today, they have it taken away from them if they have to use it in some kind of self-defense, because they don't realize that it's a muscle memory thing. When we pull a firearm out, we already know exactly what we need to do without even thinking about it. They're thinking about, oh, the safety's on, I need to get, oh, now that's taken away. Or, oh, I have to put one in the chamber, it's taken away. Oh, it malfunctioned. Is this loaded? These kind of things are why they get taken away from you. And if someone's trying to grab your firearm, we want to teach you how to get that to where they can't take it from you. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and like you said before, it doesn't always have to be lethal force. You could use a taser, you could use mace, you could use something to at least buy yourself time until
Or just
you get
your hands, your
Yeah.
phalanges.
Yeah,
Use
exactly.
something.
You know, that's something Alex from Black Belt could talk to you about. FFAtampa.com is the website, FFAtampa.com. Of course, ConsumerQB.com. You can see links to all of our expert contributors there. And I highly recommend Florida Firearms Academy. I've been there. I've shot there. I've taken my daughter to shoot there. I mean, it's
You were just
my
there this
wife
week?
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a great place, you know, and it's, lots of cool activities. I would go to FFAtampa.com, check out the calendar of events, and there's 40 different types of pistols, rifles, shotgun training, open to the public, and just a great time. And it's one of those things where you owe it to yourself, you owe it to your family to do that, especially if you're the protector in the home, you know, if you're the man of the house, so to speak. And, that's one of the things that you've got to take and take pride in and protect your family. So you're a consumer advocate here. We want to help you understand those decisions. So Florida Firearms Academy, a longtime friend of the program here, and more from Thomas Keene coming up in our lightning round. Fred Muth in the house, Gregg Bowman as well, and interesting story in our Feel Good segment with Dolly Parton donating $200,000 to volunteer firefighters. Stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at ConsumerQB.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by TrueLeave on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at ConsumerQB.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes, helping you win in any marketplace. That's our goal, and that's been our goal for over 5.5 years now, almost 6 years on air with the Consumer Quarterback Show. Started off as the Real Estate Quarterback Show some 6 years ago now, and we take great pride in helping you understand more about your buying decisions, helping you avoid a lot of the commission-based advice, that commission breath that's so relevant or prevalent in our community. You see it everywhere. This segment is brought to you by Replenish IV Solutions, the science of nutritional balance, vitamins, minerals, electrolytes, restore, reinvigorate, and revive. Now, these are vitamin infusion drips that are directly into your bloodstream. It's going to go directly to those vital organs that you need to protect and take care of. Health and wellness, anti-aging, performance, amino acids, and extras. Reach out to Stephen and Lisa Gunnan over at Replenish IV Solutions. They've got 2 convenient locations, one on Gandy Boulevard, South Tampa, and they have a Carrollwood office now as well on Bears and Del Mabry. Replenish IV Solutions, longtime friends of the Real Estate Quarterback Show, the Consumer Quarterback Show, that is. And we're here in studio helping you win. Every day we're going to tell you something positive in our Feel Good segment of the day.
Tell me something good.
All right, so Dolly Parton donates $200,000 to volunteer firefighters, 8 different fire departments in Tennessee who helped battle the deadly fires in 2016. Dolly met with all the fire chiefs in Sevier County to thank them for their role in fighting the 2016 wildfires. Through her Dollywood Foundation's My People Fund, she donated $20,000 to each fire station and gave $40,000 to their area training center. And she's quoted as saying, "It's only fitting that the last of My People Fund will go to those who were first to respond to the fires," Dolly Parton said in a press release. And Tim Baker, the chief of the Walden County Volunteer Fire Department, said his department will use the money to purchase gear and replace their roof of their station. Baker went on to say that Parton's foundation to their training center will help build a new classroom. And this is fantastic. It's a great goal that she's met. Dolly's My People Fund will also be able to provide $5,000 to each more than 800 families who lost homes in the wildfires. You guys ever been up there? Been to Dolly Parton's
Yes.
Dollywood?
Yeah, going back in June.
Yeah.
This year.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's cool.
nice.
My cousin used to sing up there. So I
No
remember my
kidding.
senior year,
Oh,
I
wow.
just graduated. Me and my cousin Robbie and I took a ride up there to go visit her and had some fun in the Smoky Mountains.
Wow,
right?
when I sing, I clear out the room. People leave fast. They should hear it.
Yeah.
She's an icon, though.
Oh,
Definitely.
really? Yeah, she's awesome, man. Good people. All right, so back here in studio helping you win. And let's jump into our lightning round here.
The lightning round!
I am so good at lightning rounds!
I majored in lightning rounds.
All right, here we go with our top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom. Fred Muth, the Tin Man, Tampa Screens and Aluminum.
From pistols to air conditioning filters to lanais. Did we cover it today? Or
We
what?
got it,
We
man.
knocked it out of the park.
We did.
No matter what your project may be, I always advise a homeowner, consumer, whether it's a swimming pool, lanai, room addition, regardless, make sure that you ask a lot of questions. And I always talk about this. If the representative of the contractor is reluctant to answer the questions, I would say that's a red flag right off the bat. We welcome the questions. My best customers are those that pepper me with questions prior to the project being constructed. I feel better about the job because I know we've covered every question that they want to ask. That way, on the back end, something negative does not come up.
Yeah, absolutely. TampaScreens.com. Check out the website, TampaScreens.com, if you're thinking about adding a beautiful in-between space to your home. Highly recommend Fred Muth and Tampa Screens and Aluminum, longtime friends of the program. Gregg Bowman, the AC guy of Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I just wanted to echo off what Fred said. That's so true. As contractors, when we're out there, a lot of times, because we do it on a daily basis, we might forget to cover things that are important to the consumer. So we are the same way. My guys love to have the customers ask them questions. Sometimes customers think, well, I don't really want to ask that, or I feel bad asking that. Don't feel that way. Ask all those questions. And I would agree with Fred. If somebody's reluctant to answer them, that's a red flag. We want to be able to answer your questions. We find that the projects where we get lots of questions, those are our best customers. I would echo that because the project goes so much smoother if we've covered everything and we've met all your expectations.
Right.
That's one of our goals. Our mission statement is that we serve our Tampa Bay family with integrity and honor, providing expert service that exceeds expectations. So we want to go beyond those expectations. So asking those questions, that's so important.
I think it's also important to understand the questions that you might not even know to ask and try to find those. Hey, is there anything that I'm not asking that maybe I should ask? Sometimes you use that if you're unaware in certain situations.
Definitely.
Yep. Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy.
Well, the last thing I'd like to say would be we're more than just an armory. We build, custom build, we clean, we repair. We're more than just a store. We buy, sell, trade firearms. We're more than just a shooting range. We're also an academy. If you're going to get some type of training, please come out and see us, or someone, if you have a firearm. You have to remember this, that you are the first responder in an event that if someone breaks into your house, you're the one that's going to have to protect you and your family first.
Yeah. Yeah, and think about it. If it's a hurricane situation, a storm, I've known people, had a good friend from New Orleans, so I remember, visiting
that was
shortly
crazy.
after.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you literally, it turns into a war zone.
Right.
I mean, when whoever has the ammunition and the guns is going to have the water, first and foremost, maybe the food. That's what's going to happen in some of those situations.
The drowning man will always try to pull someone down with him if he's trying to save his own life.
Right.
So remember, out in that kind of situation, it's every man for himself. If you're the person that is the only one without a firearm, you're going to be the person going down.
Yeah. Do you come up with a contingency plan for these types of events too?
Well, we have a lot of 40 different classes that teaches you home defense. So my wife would know, hey, if I knock twice downstairs and she can hear it upstairs, she knows not to shoot through this door if she hears someone coming through the stairs. So
right.
There's many, many different plans you can have, but is just like any kind of fire situation, you should have a way, escape route, how to get out. There's so many different types of plans you can have. But with 40 different types of classes, this should teach you pistol, shotgun, or AR rifle, whichever kind of classes that you actually need and you want to train in. So
yeah, we talked about putting together something too, man. We should put together like a networking type situation or something with the show and combine it with what you guys are
doing something live or something cool.
That'd be
or just bringing a video we could show.
We could do on location.
Absolutely,
we could do something on location. That would be neat.
I can bring in the active shooter here, so if someone actually came through here, we could train you all for.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome.
He says no.
Rob's like, nah, no, this is a little bit scary.
Boy, lanais are starting to sound more boring as this guy talks, right?
Yeah.
But them air conditioning filters, they'll scare the heck out of you, man.
Yeah, man.
They will.
So, the thing is with the show is we have so many different partners that they all want to, they've taken time out of their busy schedules to come in here and entertain, educate, and the goal is to engage. So we would love for you to engage with us. If anything you heard on the show today, reach out 813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline. You can call or text that line. Any questions you have, just shoot us a text message or a call, 813-670-7372. We're going to make sure we get you in touch with those contributors right away, before our head hits the pillow for sure, and making sure that we are that consumer advocate for you here in Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region of Florida. Our signal goes all the way down to Fort Myers, Naples on terrestrial radio. Of course, we're worldwide now on Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Sony TV, Roku, and 85 other outlets. So we want to help you win in any marketplace, as they say. Any other parting words of advice? You guys want to go do another round here, Fred? Anything?
I could talk all day.
Yeah.
Pull the plug. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Well, a lanai is not just a lanai. Screen room patio. A lot more goes into it. And one thing that I'm always aware of is when we pour the concrete, where's the water going to go after? I'm displacing the
percolation.
Percolation. 40 by 15. I'm now taking away 600 square foot of percolation. Okay, that water that now hits the slab goes away, and it's going to try to percolate elsewhere, sort of run onto the guy's property next door. He just poured a slab, and this goes on and on and on. So be very careful of the ground elevations for anybody in our industry. I do everything that I can to make the water go around to the street, because these subdivisions are designed so that the water hits the street from the backyard. If you ever notice, there's a valley between the houses, for example, which is always wet. Now, my lanai goes on the back of the house, so the water that's coming from the backyard now is going to hit the back of the house and the lanai. So now where's it going to go? So we're very careful about making sure that we put some drainage in. And a lot of times we'll trench out 3 to 4 feet around the slab so that the water runs. Water is amazing. Once it hits the valley on the side, and a heavy rain or whatever, it starts to siphon. It'll siphon out and get to the street.
Yeah.
So that's something all homeowners. I always preach that. Be very careful of where the water's going to go. All homeowners should ask that question several times over, because you can't just pour a slab and not have a consequence when you take away the percolation.
Yeah, that's a good point, and you want to be careful with that and make sure you're, having that master plan. And it's also for it's a rule for our cities to think about, and our municipalities of, we're about to come into our rainy season. Let's make sure we have those canals and ditches cleaned out and dredged, and because when that rainy season comes, the water tends to sit.
Right, and in today's world, the developers are building up the rear yards in these subdivisions so that the drain water and rainwater doesn't flush into the pond in the back.
Right.
Because this property is now loaded with chemicals. They don't want the chemicals going. They want it going into the street.
Exactly. Yep. Hey, another great show. Fred Muth, Gregg Bowman, Thomas King. Thanks so much for coming in. Thanks to our listeners, our viewers, our producers out there. We really appreciate you. Please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Pack up some food or clothing. Carry it with you to and from your commute. Hand it to that person that you see in need, and be a force for good in the community. We'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show, weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Biz.
Are you a real estate agent looking to take your business to the next level and supercharge your marketing? Hi, I'm Brandon Rhymes, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and host of the Real Estate Quarterback Show, syndicated radio and TV show talk program on iHeartRadio, 102.5 The Bone, daily 5 o'clock drive time on 1380 The Biz, and our TV show is on WeBeam TV. We're looking for real estate agents that want to join our team and supercharge their marketing utilizing some of our innovative strategies. We utilize the Real Geeks platform, Facebook marketing, internet marketing, and a lot of the traditional methods as well. Postcard mailers mailed for you, postage, signage, business cards, all paid for by the company. Aggressive real estate splits and ways to help you win in any marketplace. We need you to go out, take applications, and work our plethora of leads that we're generating on a daily basis. Reach out by clicking the form below, and we'd love to have a confidential interview with you.